Again, let's run by you that we're just getting reports that the Member of Parliament for Ibuakwa North, JB Dankwaidu, has been killed in his home. The incident happened in the early hours of this morning. And we'll try and get Derek Akosam back onto the line to try and see whether we can get some other snippet of information. But already, the police have also made their way to his residence to make sure they can begin the process of investigations as far as this very incident is concerned. We have Derek Akosam on the line. Derek, again, thanks for joining us. What's the latest you can give us as far as this very incident? Early on, you had said that the police were now trying to get whatever clues they can.
Well, Roland, I've been trying to get some snippets of information from neighbors around who had a struggle. From what I'm hearing, he was stabbed. He wasn't gunned down, he was stabbed. You understand that the assailants put a ladder just on the window behind his bedroom, and then they went into the room. There was a struggle, but he was overpowered, and then he was stabbed. The neighbors tell me when you go into the house, you realize that there are some blood stains on the staircase. I'm also hearing that behind his house is a bush. And so when the assailants realized that there were other people outside the house, as in the front of the house, they used the exit behind the house. And so currently I'm on my way to that side of the house to see what exactly is there and why the assailants decided to use that part. But the police are still here. The family has been moved away. We don't know where they've been taken to. I'm also hearing that the body has also been taken to the police hospital. The Greater Accra Region Police say they are investigating the matter as I speak to you now. Almost everybody is isolated. Nobody from the family wants to speak. The police as well also do not want to speak as well.
But do you know whether he was in the house alone or he had his family with him?
He had his family with him in the house, but I am also hearing that he was in his room alone. He has his own room. The wife also has a separate room. So when the incident happened, he was in his room alone.
Do you also know whether perhaps the assailants came there for purposely just to have him killed, or perhaps also they came to steal or rob, as the words may be?
Well, I can't tell for now whether they came there to rob or not, but the man has been killed, and that's still gathering information. As when we get the info, would feed our viewers.
Have you had members of his party especially, and also other colleague members of parliament also trooping into the home?
No, I can't see any colleague MP here at the moment. The family members have been taken away. No party members also can be as of now.
Well, thank you very much, Derek Akosam, doing a great job currently at East Legon, giving us up-to-date minutes of the report we're getting that JB Dankwaidu, who is a member of parliament for Ibuakwa North, has been killed in the early hours of the morning. And so far, there have been conflicting reports about whether he was shot or killed. But it seems that we'll try and get as much as that is. The latest we're getting from Derek Akosam, our correspondent on the ground, is that he may have been stabbed by unknown assailants who may have also used a ladder through the back of the house into his room, where he is reported to have been asleep. And he is said to have been stabbed in the process. And there's a picture of his home. And you can see that currently the police are outside, but that's the latest we can give you. As much as the information is, our cameras are also available to make sure that we bring you a vivid audio-visual description of how the incident is and what may have happened. The police, according to the reports we're getting, are currently tight-lipped, and we will try as much as possible to give you the best as far as the facts are in relation to this very incident we're getting. Again, let's just refresh you, since we don't have the supers on the screens for you, is that JB Dankwaidu, who is a member of parliament for Ibuakwa North, has been stabbed in his home. And according to the report from Derek Akosam, correspondent on the ground, he may have been stabbed in the early hours of the morning by unknown assailants who are suspected to have used a ladder to climb into his room at the back of his home. And so far, that's the report we're getting of the incidents. The police, according to the report, also have converged at the home to try and get the initial samples and also try and commence their investigations as swiftly as they can.
And that news definitely generating some comments from you, our viewers. This one says, good morning, Roland and Mama V. We are all sad from hearing the news, oh Mother Ghana, where we head into. Not safe from Kwewu and Prior. So ECG sending us that message on our WhatsApp page, 0560-800,000. This one reads, may the soul of J.B. Danko rest in perfect peace. When politics become the gateway of amassing wealth, this is what happens. Security services must be up and doing. From S. Aminu Naplali. Let's not quickly put politics in it because we do not know yet what may have caused this unfortunate incident. This one says the wicked should not go scot-free. Inshallah, Ibrahim in Techiman sending us the message. We've got the newspapers for you. Roland, we'll start with the Ghanaian Times.
On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have DCE rejects 2 projects shortly constructed. If the camera will zoom in, you see that there are some cracks in some of the rooms of this very health center.
Shoddily constructed.
And as a result of the DC, according to the story that's on the back page, is reported to have rejected it. And that very DC is for the One West district in the Upper West region.
Good move.
Adamu Dasana has rejected 2 projects handed over to the assembly by the contractor due to shoddy work. And the projects are a community-based health planning and service compound at Jambok and a 3-unit junior high school block at Ego, both farming communities in the district. Dr. Dasana, or Mr. Dasana, directed the contractors involved to return to site and ensure that all defects on the newly constructed buildings were corrected before handing them over to the assembly. The classroom block and chips compound executed by Sumbo Enterprise and Suntumu Company Limited respectively and supervised by A&Q's Consortium were not delivered on schedule, and they also failed to meet the contractual specifications. Apart from the very conspicuous cracks on portions of the buildings, including the cemented floors, some of the doors also could not be locked due to the hunched nature of the wooden frames.
I hope they have not paid for the...
Definitely may have paid for it.
Wow.
In addition, Sumbo Enterprise, the contractor for the Jumbo Chips compound, failed to put ceramic tiles in the toilet and bathrooms, and even though that was specified in the contract. Addressing the media after inspecting the project, Mr. Dasana said, out of 4 projects undertaken, only 1 met the contract specifications and would be received by the assembly for onward handing over to the beneficiary communities. The concern is, well, they may have been supervising during the construction stages of these buildings. So what happened?
This is DCE for which area?
One West.
One West.
I think that's
like thumbs up for you,
yes,
man. And please,
Mr.
let's keep an eye on this. Let's keep an eye on this particular districts. He should not be transferred because he's exposed the shoddy works done by a contractor. We should be clapping for him, and we should all be behind him and reject
I think
this.
is a real semblance of a very good MP,
yeah.
A very good DCE who knows what he wants for his people.
Yeah.
Because indeed, if you're a district assembly head, or you are also a member of parliament, you are in for the people. You have to do whatever it is you have to do according to public good.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing it, you know that it is for the public good, then you know you're doing the right thing.
If this was your own property, would you have accepted it?
Would you have accepted all these
This
cracks?
is good.
Because one day his name would have been, it was during his tenure that all these things happened. We say kudos to you, Mr. Dasana, whoever you are. A very good morning to you.
All right, let me do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Daily Graphic, Justice Derry petitions president over true identity of Tiger IPI. African First Ladies would converge in Accra from tomorrow. The bigger story here, following closure of 3 clinics at Kolebu. Critical care in danger. It's got a picture of Mr. Alex Segbefia, who is the health minister. When you go to the back page of the paper, acute water shortage hits in Sawam Adwejiri. But this is a story that we did in detail for you here on Joy News. Following that on Saturday, Sunday, and then even on Monday. So let me go to page 3 of the paper. This Korle Bu issue is very much disturbing. It says that patients who turned up at 3 surgical clinics of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital yesterday left disappointed when they got to know they have been closed down, putting critical care in danger. Although the hospital's authorities had announced its intention to suspend activities of the urology, general surgery, and neurosurgery clinics effective yesterday, some patients did not know of the decision. And it dawned on me yesterday morning, Roland, when a little boy, a 9-month-old boy, who has got this issue at his back, it's a spinal, some growth at his back. He's not able. So his downwards is not active, but his hands are active and everything. Our sister station, Adum TV, Bejim, raised the funds for the surgery, I think 8,000 Ghana cedis or so. And they went to Korle Bu to have the surgery done, only to be told that they have to come back in 2 weeks because the clinics have been closed. I mean, This is real. This is a baby. This is a 9-month-old who's not able to crawl because of the problem that he has. Thankfully, with the help of viewers, people who have been watching, they've been able to raise the funds to do the surgery. The surgery would take care of him, only to be told that where they would have the surgery done has been shut down. That's Korle Bu, and so they couldn't do the surgery.
So they can't do the surgery anywhere
They can't
else.
you know, when we're raising funds, we don't just raise funds because we've come with a problem. So they've got, Bejim had communication from Korle Bu. And so every money is sent in the name of Korle Bu. I mean, how do you reverse this procedure and start raising funds again and tell people, okay, do it in the name of which other hospital? And mind you, when you go to other places, people are in queues for these surgeries. So if you left Korle Bu because you couldn't do it and you went to another facility, you would rejoin a queue. If your situation is critical, they don't care. You came to meet people, you know. But the point is that Korle Bu is like the ultimate place if you're not well, wherever. If you go to the best private hospitals, you get the best care, and they still are not able to take care of you. Korle Bu is your final destination. And if we shut 3 clinics down, 3 very important units of Korle Bu down, that's very disturbing. And then we boast and say we're building clinics and schools. They all mean nothing if the ultimate hospital we have is not well taken care of. I don't know why we will sit down and look at this. It's all the persons in leadership positions should bow their heads and this shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have this story following closure of clinics at Korle Bu, critical care in danger. I mean, how can you imagine this? But this is what we are faced with in Ghana. Amazing. That's the only story I would do in the graphic. For me, this is the most important.
We'll see how that goes. On the front page of the Chronicle, we have tender fraud at the NCA. Chronicle investigation show ICH operator did not win bid as Imani calls for full probe also. And the story is on the center spread of the paper. It says Imani is raising concerns about whoever should have been made to be the one leading the whole initiative for the ICH. We know AfriWave won the contract, even though the subject is a court issue currently. You have a picture there of William Matthew Tevier, who is the acting director general of the NCA. And you also have a picture there of Franklin Kujo, who is the president of Imani Ghana. This I know is going to rage on, and I know that Kweku Kwarteng has been raising issues about ICH and its intended purposes and objectives, whether they will listen to calls of people and things like that. While the security concerns are also there, this very subject about the tender process is also coming because we're told that ICWave, according to Imani, didn't have the expertise, but they seem to have scored all the marks when it came to the area of having expertise. and the technology as well. And so I guess we'll have a lot more to talk about when this comes up and the discussions are being made. Also on the front page of the Chronicle, we have Rawlings weeps over insults on airwaves. That's what the airwaves there. We have Nana Wo's Krobo voters. You have another
the
paper.
Finder quickly. I'll take you through the headlines in the Finder newspaper front page. Ghana's debts extremely high. Deputy MD of IMF warns government against borrowing to pay interest. Also angry, Kwabibrim youth decry underdevelopment. Is the Constitution compendium of suggestions to Ghana Supreme Court? That's a question being asked. Occupy Ghana, government set to for court battle over 3.6 million Ghana cedis bus branding saga, and FPSO Kwame Nkrumah shuts down for repairs. All right, these are the front page headlines you find in the Finder newspaper today. Roland.
Front page of the BNFT, Mahama wants more PPPs, and he was speaking at a ceremony organized by waste management company Zoom Lion to present 4,000 waste trucks and additional 5,000 motorized cycles to metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. The president added that government cannot solve all problems and thus calling for the assistance of local entrepreneurs in solving problems like waste management and other issues in partnership with government. We have mobile money key to banks' success according to Moody's, and we know that mobile money is key, is big in Southern Africa. And if you look at country with mobile money account penetration, you have Botswana, you have Cote d'Ivoire, you have Ghana, but the leader, of course, is Kenya, followed by South Africa. You also have Namibia, you have Botswana, and then you have Uganda, you have Ghana, you come to Somalia, you come to Tanzania. Okay. Mali seems to be last, so to speak, but it also shows you that a lot more is growing as far as the use of our phones to do a lot more than we think.
All right, have you done the daily guide? Yes.
I've not.
Okay.
Have we? We have not. Front page of the daily guide is Abongo light over road. We have dairy, drugs, Anas to Mahama.
Why would they use this picture?
Runaway acid girl busted, EC boss hot. And those are the stories we have on the front page.
Actually, Justice D.
Yeah, Justice
My
D.
Justice D is back, y'all.
Justice D.
He's taking big actions. All right, so we're done with the headlines in the newspapers. Let's quickly go to WhatsApp. Benedict Owusu-Danko is on standby. He's got the latest sports. Good morning, Mr. Roller. The time clock needs to be repaired. Good for Ghana. All right. So a lot of people also enjoying the clock story from Francis Aban. Oh, I missed a couple of the messages. Okay, this one says, good morning to everyone in Ghana. The people of Torsa in Upper West region are struggling to get potable water. They're still in the system of digging wells to get water. Lincoln from Torsa in the Upper West region sending us that message. This one said, good morning, Mama V. This is purely criminal, and the perpetuator of this crime must be chased to the gates of hell, from Mustafa Timtuni in Tamale Gumani. We've got lots of messages we'll make for spots. We'll come back and then we'll be sharing it, in between the programs. I'll tell you what's on my banner this morning. Maybe you've seen videos of some pastors of churches and, saying they can do all sorts of things. I mean, there are so many pastors in the system. We can't talk about this issue enough, but we know that we need the education every time, because apparently there are a lot of vulnerable people out there. So we will talk about how we're regulating the church today, especially the Pentecostal churches. My guest is Reverend Dr. Paul Frimpong Manson. He's the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church here in Ghana. It will be a good conversation. Stay right here on the AM show and make way for my banner later this morning.